We're so excited for you to be joining us once again tonight. Many of you know Tuesday nights are typically our Bible study nights. We get a chance to kind of kick it in live and in person at 7 o'clock. However, with the Rona, your auntie Rona is out here causing havoc in these streets. And so we've kind of changed the game up. Obviously, we're doing everything live. We're so excited and grateful to everybody that joined us this past Resurrection Sunday. We had an awesome time. And so now we're kind of coming right back at you on our Tuesday night talks with Pastor Mike. And I've been having a great time because I've been getting a chance to bring guests in from all over the place. All my friends, I get a name drop, and then and get them to come in and chat with us and provide information. So we've been talking in terms of our finances, getting those together. We talked last week mental health, and so today I want to kind of change it up and kind of deal with our physical health. So we talk mind, body, spirit. We would be doing you a disservice if all we did was preach to you spiritually, but never dealt with you from a physical aspect and deal with the entire man and how you operate. And so we want to make sure that we're maximizing all of these particular areas and being able to speak to your life in every area of your life and make sure that you are living the abundant life Christ gave and died for you to have. And so with that being said, I hit my girl up. I said, hey, I want to talk health and fitness. And so there is no other that would be able to kind of fall into this jurisdiction of being able to deal with health and fitness than the incomparable Denise Bryers. So Denise, go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody, kind of give all your background and all your accolades. Everybody, they know your face. They've been hiding under a rock if they don't know you already. But just for those people that we got watching from California that may not be hip to you, and share who you are for everybody.
First of all, disclaimer, because I don't have any makeup on. And I just got through walking 6 miles today. So, like right before this call. So, excuse this right here. But my name is Denise Bryers. I'm a certified personal trainer and boot camp instructor for Boot Camp Cincinnati and for Denise Bryers Fitness. Again, based out of Cincinnati. I have been training for about almost 10 years now. It'll be 10 years this year. Just helping people in my community become healthy, become fit, and just work towards, changing their lifestyle and living a better life, increasing their longevity. And my approach has always been mind, body, and spirit. And so that's my platform. That's my movement. I work with over 200 people across the city, either live, in person, or via right now my live workouts on Facebook. And so just dealing with what we've got going on right now, as a small business owner, I had to, when they told us to close our gyms and our studios, we instantly, a lot of trainers went into not panic mode, but response mode. And so we're starting to offer our services via social media, Zoom, Instagram, Facebook, things like that. I do live workouts with my people. And so as soon as, we heard and got the news that gyms were required to close, I instantly opened up and started a Facebook group, put all of my customers in there so they can stay consistent with their workouts and the coaching. And so we started this was like 4 weeks ago. It's 4 weeks ago today. We started I had currently maybe 50 people. And as of today, I'm at 215.
Nice.
215 people from across. I've got someone in Germany now that I'm working with.
Nice.
Over 215 people that I've been working with these last 4 weeks. So
awesome.
It's been hard, but I mean, definitely a toll on my body. But it's been worth it, and people are so just so thankful for it. And have been participating. I did different price points, made it affordable. Now I'm down to like $1 a day to finish out these last 21 days. And moving into, I don't know what's going to happen over the next few weeks, but I'm committed in at least another 3 weeks at this.
Awesome. And so, and then we'll talk about your 21-day challenge in a little bit as
Okay.
well to
All
kind of
right.
jump on that. And so
Okay.
for everybody watching from a biblical perspective, because once again, we're kind of pushing this mind, body, spirit piece while
Mm-hmm.
we're quarantined and being able to operate from this mindset. One of
Yeah.
my favorite verses, we did a series on health a couple years ago.
Uh-huh.
Is one of my favorite verses, 3 John verse 2 talks about, beloved, I pray that in all respects that you may prosper and be in good health, just as your soul prospers. And so another translation of that thing is God's Word's translation says, dear friend, I know that you are spiritually well, and I pray that you're doing well in every other way and that you're healthy. And so when we talk about this idea of health, of course, particularly, and I kind of, now put out my apology for those who kind of grew up in church. Many people who grew up in church traditionally, they focus solely on, hey, get your mind, get your spirit together and get right with Jesus, and that's it. And so we had a lot of people who were saved, but had high blood pressure, had hypertension, and were dying early and had heart attacks and all kinds of stuff. And because nobody ever spoke to that idea of, hey, well, let's make sure that your spirit is well, then also make sure that your body is well. And I think that we missed the idea that our body is our temple. This is the only one that God gave us. And so we have to make sure we're managing it as well as our spirit. And I'm trying to get you all to heaven. I just don't want to rush you there. I'm trying to make sure that you're able to do this thing to the best of your ability and make sure that you're getting there at the right time, according to what God wants to do for you, and not rushing that process. So when we talk about this idea of physical health, I want you to kind of speak to the fact that what you do with your body sets the tone for everything else.
It does. I mean, just being active. And it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, take a fitness class. You got to do yoga or boot camp. You need a personal trainer. Just being active, moving. As it relates to, and I'll start, with our babies, as it relates to children, getting them from in front of the TV screen and doing something in the home, outside, playing outside. My children kind of grew up in the area, we did too, I did too, where, video games started to become more prevalent. My kids, every year, all they wanted was a PS2, and I don't even know what they are now, what they're called now, but PlayStation. I grew up in the Atari area. I think I might be telling my age, but it was, video games and, oh, I gotta go to GameStop, Mom. I mean, just depressing. I gotta go to, Walmart and get that latest video. And so I get it. My kids kind of grew up in that area. We went from Atari to Sega Genesis to PlayStation, and Xbox. They grew up in that era. But as a parent, we were kind of on the cusp of that, everything going into gaming and moving, into gaming. And so as a parent, I knew that I had to provide a healthy balance for my children. And so they were only allowed to be on, their gaming systems for an hour a day. And that was it, and as they grew older, of course, we battled it out a little bit, but, an hour maybe turned into a couple hours, but that's it. And then after that, it's time to get outside. It's time to play. It's time to do something. And then, with us having to be inside now, having just jump ropes available, sidewalk chalk, things like that. Get the kids out. The weather, even right now, it may be a little nippy, but get them outside. Sometimes, I'm starting to see a lot of younger parents let the television screen and YouTube and, cell phones babysit their children. And I know that it's a hard time. I know that, everybody being in the house at one time and them having to get schoolwork done at home and things like that. As a parent, you just want to go in your room and close the door sometimes. But just come up, just out your days as you're helping with these lesson plans and whatnot. Plan and schedule at least an hour of activity time, whether that be jumping jacks or running in place real fast, and kind of twist it and make it like a game. Whoever can do the most reps of jumping jacks, wins a prize or something like that. Those little things, kids love competitive things to do. And so as long as they're being challenged and as long as you make it fun and make it a game for them, they will do it. I have parents who are in my workout group on live. Their children and grandchildren work out with me. We do a lot of jumping jacks and squats and lunges and things and push-ups, things that kids can instantly take to. And so having them even doing yoga, even meditation, and working their minds outside of school and outside of, I'm stuck at home and I don't get to see my friends. Make it fun and interactive for them. Activity is so important. And then, of course, as adults, as we get into adulthood, a lot of people right now are forced into, not forced, I would say. I'm starting to see people out. I kind of described it to my workout group as, in the movie The Wiz, where they went to Emerald City and they saw everybody coming out and shining and sparkling and wearing different colors. It's like Emerald City right now. You come outside and you see people walking and riding their bikes and really getting into this outdoor activity thing. They're running, they're cycling, they're walking, they're, and as families and groups, things like that, they're getting in miles. I did a half marathon on Saturday. Nice. Just to get out the house.
Yeah,
and to walk.
I was joking with my wife. I seen some people jogging in my neighborhood. I didn't even know live here. And so
right.
This was the first time I didn't seen them because they out here in the streets now. And, I think you spoke to some major pieces where we're not that far off in the age bracket, because for me, like I said, I grew up with the Atari. I grew up, Nintendo was the first, gaming system we had.
Right.
But at the same time, I came from that era where you were sent outside and told not to come back in the house.
Yeah, that's it.
We were allowed to come back in. And so we just kind of we knew how to survive outside with hose water and and bike ramps and being able to just
all that monkey bars.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's metal monkey bars. These are real monkey bars.
Metal monkey bars.
Where you burn yourself in the middle of the summer. So so I think you spoke to it a little bit, but in terms of you saying about an hour every day for kids, should that be the same thing for adults in terms of?
Adults, at least, at a minimum. I know that in my group, people are doing a little bit more because they still are like on their fitness journey and whatnot. But as adults, even if it's just coming outside 30 to 45 minutes to 60 minutes a day, or doing something in your home, you don't need weights or dumbbells or anything like that to be active and to, start to work into a more active lifestyle. And again, the purpose may not always just be, I want to lose weight, I got to lose weight. The purpose may be just to get, some fresh air, to get your body moving, and so I'm starting to see where a lot of places, I can't be in a position to offer it for free because I still got bills to pay.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
There's still, rec centers, and I don't know if you have a Y membership, they're starting to do things for free. I've seen Planet Fitness do some things for free. I'm blessed to the regard that I have people who support me and support my business in a way that that blesses me and that's keeping me around. You know what I'm saying? So when we are able to get back to normal, Denise will still be around because she didn't go under. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a trainer that you've been working with or a fitness class that you've been attending, check on your trainers, check on your instructors. I'm so certain that they're doing something, and so that's sustaining them and that's going to keep them around even when all this blows over. But as I said before, if you had memberships to gyms, things like that, kind of check out and see what they're doing, because I'm so sure that they're offering something for you guys to keep you going and keep you active. And there's some places that have suspended billing until we're able to get back into the gym. So make sure you check on those things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So before I go to another piece that you kind of sparked in my mind, speak to our seniors, because of course when they talk about those at high risk for the virus. They
Yes.
speak to those that are 60 plus. That's kind of the age bracket they kind of have given.
Yes.
What type of activities do you recommend for some of our seniors? I call them my seasoned veterans,
Yes.
my OG, triple OGs
Right, right.
out there to kind of, still want
I
to
call them
kind
old
of keep
school.
healthy.
The
Yeah.
old school crew. Hey, first of all, please, please, please keep your loved ones of 60 years old or older in mind. Love them from a distance. Please do not, I mean, for me, I still get out, maybe pass people up on the walking trails, things like that. And I'm still forced to be around, my kids and other people, but at a very limited capacity. But you just don't know, even when we make a run to these grocery stores, what you're coming into contact with. And so please love on our seniors from afar. If they need anything, bring them what they need, but make sure you're wiping everything down, keeping it nice, clean, and sanitary for them. But from a activity perspective, again, there are some trainers, if they've worked out or have done silver sneakers, I'm so certain that there's programs out there online right now that they can connect to, given they have internet access or anything like that. But if they don't, just maybe moving around the house, walking up and down the stairs, every maybe 4 times a day for about 5 or 10 minutes. There's chair exercises, and if they have access to the internet at all, on YouTube, there's tons of senior videos, fitness videos that they can be doing from a chair, or holding on to a chair. There are walking walking videos that they could connect to and do from the comfort of their homes. And so making sure, calling and checking on them, please, and making sure that they're doing some sort of activity. If our seniors or your seniors, the seniors in your life, have access to a cell phone or iPhone or something where they can FaceTime, maybe use Duo, maybe they can use Zoom, check in with them on a face-to-face and go through an activity with them over the phone. You'll be amazed once you really start to think of it, what we can do to engage that group and to keep them active. But first and foremost, keep them safe and keep them and love them from afar, from a distance. Even if you want to go outside and simulate a little walking routine, and you're outside and they're watching you from the window and they're following your every step. These are things that we can do, and as we get creative in this, to keep them active and to keep them healthy. Activity is so important. I've read where if you were to, work out and stay, with a healthy diet during COVID-19, that as you're warming your body up, working out and heating your body up, these are some of the best things that you can do to help fight that. Say you should come in contact with it, or to fight it, getting into your system, warming that body up, drinking tea, drinking warm drinks, things like that, soups, things like that. Keeping your body kind of, at several points throughout the day, raise that temperature up. And what better way than, walking or some sort of physical activity. If your seniors are able to get out and walk, again, make sure they're wearing those masks, because they will pass people up. Like, I've been passing so many people up on the walking trails, things like that. Keep them, make sure that they wear their masks and that they're safe, that they don't touch handrails or sit on benches, things like that. The smallest things, you can never underestimate. But again, just get creative. Start to think of some ways that you can keep them engaged. And I even thought about starting a seniors fitness program myself. And so I'm so certain that there's other things out there for them, especially if they were with Silver Sneakers. You might want to get online and look up, what Silver Sneakers has going on.
Okay, awesome. And so also, I want to also reiterate the fact that some of these tips that you're providing are not just solely for while we're being quarantined, but also for everyday life.
Oh, everyday life.
So that even beyond just, when we get a chance to escape, that
Mm-hmm.
we're maintaining a lot of these same exercise tips and advice and ideas, because like I said, we want to keep everybody around for the long haul. We want to
Absolutely.
make sure that everybody's around beyond just this year, whatever 2020 is going to look like.
Right.
We continue to maintain healthy tips and healthy lifestyles, make it
Absolutely.
a part of our regular routine. The same way I tell everybody, I need you to make sure you're talking to God as soon as you wake up in the morning. Make sure you're praying at the very minimum once a day. Making sure you're reading at least a minimum once a day, but it should be part of your daily diet. The same way that we eat is the same way we also should have some form of exercise. So now, and let me go ahead and drop this real quick before I get to my next area. When it comes down to exercise, I tell folk in a heartbeat, I don't fool with Denise. I was like, she about to kill me out in these streets. However,
I'm not that bad.
between yourself and Teran, I was like, I ain't fooling with y'all. Y'all leave me alone.
I know, right?
But I will say to myself, Lady Keisha, we've been doing Insanity. We're on week 4 right now because we're the same part. We're like, hey, we gotta make sure that we're still staying active. Typically, I go to the gym. I'm lazy, but I do show up. But like I said, from a cardio and staying active part, because we can't right now get to those places. Like, all right, we're gonna jump back doing Insanity, and I think that's 2 months of just craziness.
Oh yeah, I've done it before.
Yeah,
I'm actually an Insanity instructor, so yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah, and y'all can have all of that. That's hell in a basket. That's all that is.
Right. And it can be. Ooh, it's rugged. It's rough.
So now here's the other piece that I wanted you to kind of touch on as well, because as we kind of talk about being active and exercising and maintaining, good balance and practice in all these different areas. Now let's switch to the diet side. Here's a piece that I know I'm horrible on, but because we are doing the exercise, but then eating bad, we kind of cancel each other out. And so,
oh my God.
And so now that everybody's done bought out the grocery stores, you got 1 roll of toilet paper, but 5 packs of, of Oreos.
Right.
Speak to this diet piece where you're in the house a lot more now, and it's acceptable to eat more of these cookies that you didn't have access to because you were gone at work. And so, we done kind of blew our budget in a number of different areas. And so kind of speak to this diet piece and the importance of how to maintain it, and as well as kind of even giving a balance on what to eat, when to eat it, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. I would say with regards to nutrition, yes, we're at home, and people get bored. They do. They get bored. DoorDash is still going. Grubhub is still going. Uber Eats is still going. Restaurants are still going. You can call in, pick it up, drive through. All that's still going. But the funny part about it is I did talk to my people about this in my group. I said, what we used to do, like going out every Friday night and Saturday night to eat, things like that, we've been kind of stripped of that. But that doesn't mean turn that into, oh, well, I can't go to Cheesecake Factory this Friday night, so we're just going to order in from Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah.
You're still repeating those things that are still eating from those places that are not really conducive to you living a healthy lifestyle. I say, and I don't think, people should just go cold turkey, on not doing things like that. But you have to do these things in moderation. But right now, we're in a global pandemic. And when they talk about health is your wealth, and when you talk about that, health is truly your wealth right now. It really is. And so my advice would be to contribute to your health, not just from a physical standpoint, but from a nutritional standpoint, that you are starting to maybe switch it up right now. We're at home. We can be creative. We can cook. You know what I'm saying? And so making sure that you get in, the right amount of protein in your diet through fresh meats and fish, chicken, things like that. Making sure that you get in that water that, you maybe struggled with before. Everybody kind of puts themselves to the test, or I got to get in my 8 glasses a day. You can certainly do that now that you're at home and you have access to it, and you can get to it right away. Making sure you still incorporate those healthy fruits and vegetables into your diet, and not eating when you get bored, eating and putting yourself on a schedule to eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. Because we're home now, we're not out driving around and going to basketball practices and picking the kids up here and dropping them off there. You're not as active as you used to be, and so sitting at home all day and snacking when you get bored is not going to do anything for you but add more pounds, in the process. And so you want to be mindful of that. We are not as active as we used to be. I have not sat on the couch. Like I sat on the couch yesterday for like an hour. That's odd to me. That's off to me, and so I got to get up and get out and walk, because I just got to remain active. But if you're not active and you're eating more than you typically eat, and eating the things that bring you comfort, because I know we're all stressed out, you really have to do, keep it in mind that you're not as active as you were. I don't care who you are, unless you're an essential worker or working in healthcare, you are not as active as you used to be. And so these things pose more of a threat to your health than they pose, that feel good moment. Everybody gets a feel good moment when they eat something that, like cookies or cake, or it's a feel good moment. I get it. But find other ways to feel good. Working out releases endorphins, which are happy hormones, and make us feel good as we're working out. And as you start to incorporate a healthier, routine, through fitness and through your nutrition, you're going to start to see results from that. And when you see those results, capitalize on that, continue along that route, and come out of this with a bit of self or personal development. We've been given this time to really focus on the simple things of life, walking and working out, eating right, the simple things. You've been given that time, so you have to find the calm in that. The calm and the chaos is what I say. Find that calm in the chaos and really work on yourself. And I told my people, I said, if you haven't come out of this quarantine having done something to benefit you, whether it's maybe losing 5 or 6 pounds, or up to 10 pounds, or reading a book about, like you said, you had someone on from financial planning, things like that, reading a book on, finances and how to get your finances right, or doing something that is going to, make you better at the end of this, then you've wasted, I'm saying, basically 4 to 6 weeks. Absolutely. Just sitting around waiting and watching press conferences and eating, and don't let this quarantine world to go to waste, because the things you could be doing now could benefit you when this is all over with. Trust me. I'm starting to see that with a lot of people, like they're using this time to really focus on their finances. We're being forced into a situation where we gotta save now, because we're being forced to save. We can't go out and spend this money, we can't go out into the movies or do that extra stuff. We can't travel. So use this time to your benefit in all areas of your life, especially spiritual peace. And the fact that churches are now providing what you're doing and providing this ministry online and via social media, you're saving people, and so I say utilize this time to the best of your advantage.
And you're preaching right now, because that's one of the things that we literally been pushing, is being able to come out of this thing better than we were going into it, and maximizing it. Like, you don't just, like I said, fortunately, we see people that are passing away from, the virus. And of course, all that is a travesty. But this is one of the greatest times in history to be able to maximize your moment, to be able to say, hey, I'm about to get back, get my mind together, my body together, my spirit together, everything I've been putting off and saying I didn't have time to do. I now have time to do. And so
Right.
now it's just a matter of procrastination and, you know, a lack of stick-to-itiveness
Right.
that's keeping everybody from doing whatever that particular thing is. And so,
Mm-hmm.
so now I'm definitely glad you shared on all of that. So now let me ask this, because it's kind of been the same parallel question I've been asking a number of people, and it even relates to churches as well. With this current switch and this current of being able to be creative and bringing different ideas to the table in terms of being online and providing services online, what do you now foresee as it terms to once this quarantine and mandate is now lifted? Is it a picture of going back to normal, or saying, you know what, there's a shift now? Let me kind of,
This is starting to shift already. I've seen it. Like, we kind of even seen some hints of it. I'm in the Kroger parking lot right now. Order online and pick it up curbside. They've been doing that for a minute.
Yep.
You know, a lot of businesses are now having to pivot. And me, I know you as a church differently and to react differently. And so coming out of this, I know things will change. For me as a personal trainer, now people want to see me go live. So how am I going to go back to the way things were and still continue to go live for that population of people who said, you know what, you're providing this live for me now, but once this is over, I want to continue with this.
Yeah.
And I'm already starting to see that. I'm working with people who in the past weren't able to get to me or see me or come to any of my classes or train with me because of, you know, their varying work schedules and things like that. And so now I think as the world, I mean, we are all having to make that pivot. We have to shift, you know, and so it's speaking towards the future, you know, this is an eye opener. It's been an eye opener. And so how am I going to respond differently? Those are things that I'm thinking about right now as we speak as a business. How are things going to be different once we come out of this? Because I'm in all honesty, I believe that this is not, it's the beginning, but it really isn't the end of this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel that, you know, we may be, I pray that we may be forced back into this. You know what I'm saying? This quarantine situation. And what does that look like? How do you respond? You know, people are starting to market differently. Yeah. You know, I had a 21-day quarantine challenge, you know what I'm saying? Like fitness challenge. We're marketing differently. And so how are things gonna be, you know, once we are able to do what we've done in the past? How are you gonna still be able to reach those who need to be reached, given this quarantine and outside of this quarantine? How's business gonna be different? And I can honestly say, I know it's not gonna be the same, so.
Yeah, and I think that's an awesome piece as well. And I'll even share, even from a church perspective, we literally have people join from other cities and states because you know, they never had a chance to see us before, and somebody shared and somebody else picked it up and they're like, you know what, oh man, I like this. And we, you know, and so, but at the same time, we created an opportunity for them to still join, still be able to be engaged with the same way our members were in person, because we had to learn how to operate. But to go forward, once this mandate is lifted, we just don't automatically drop those same people. We got to figure out now, let's go change the game up. And so I'm excited about even what's on deck. So now with that that segue being said, speak to your 21-day challenge and whether people could still jump in on it and kind of how that works.
Absolutely. So it started yesterday. And like I said, I've been offering live workouts now for 4 weeks today. And so as we go into these next 3 weeks that we're in this mandate, I started a 21-day challenge. And so we started yesterday, and you know, you still absolutely can get in. You'll just be a little bit behind, but not too far behind. I'm offering that via Facebook Live. For me, that it just works. You know, that's why it's how I'm able to reach more people than, you know, just a few at a time. And so I established a workout group. It's called the Denise Bryers. Actually, it's Denise Bryers Live Workout Program. I established that group. But to be a part of this, I just utilize Cash App. And so if anyone wants to be a part of it, they would Cash App me at $Denise Bryers, DenisebRyers. Next step would be to look for that page on Facebook, Denise Bryers live workout program, and request to be added, and then you're in. From there, you would need to take a before photo of yourself if you wish. You don't have to. And then send that to me, DeniseBryers@gmail.com, and follow me as I go through these twice a day. I'm working out 2 a day. It's been a minute since I've done 2 a day, but I do a workout at 7:15 a.m. and then a workout at 6:15 p.m. live. So as of this morning, I think I'm up to maybe 53 people who work out, at the same time, live with me in the mornings, and I go live again tonight at 6:15. I also throw in, cardio challenges, meal plans. I've got like 7 different meal plans in there that they can access.
Awesome.
It's really fun. It's a community that's growing. They're getting to know each other. They'll meet up and do a social distancing walk with one another. It's really taken off. And so I know for a fact I can't, I gotta stay with it, and there's no it's going back to the way things were, but now I've got that added component that I need to be considering. So
yeah, and I wanted to share the screen real quick. Look, we on top of technology. You get a chance to see the actual page. So for those that are interested, jump on Denise Bryers' live workout program. And once again, she's on. So it's technically 20 days left versus 21. Yeah. So if you're interested, make sure you jump on there and hurry it up. So now, what time of the day are you doing? What's the time on it each day?
Monday through Thursday. I go live at 7:15 a.m. and 6:15 p.m. The AM workouts are more strength training based, and so at a minimum 5 to 8 pound dumbbells, a mat, and your body, and maybe a step if you have it, some bands if you have it, whatever you have, just throw it right there in front of you. Is at some point you'll be utilizing something to do the strength piece. The weights that some of my people have up to 30-pound dumbbells that they're working with. So it's all strength-based, things you may be used to doing in the gym that doesn't require equipment, things like that. And so on Mondays, we work arms and, Mondays we work quads and calves. Tuesday, we work arms and shoulders. Wednesday is chest and back. And on Thursday, it's hams and glutes. And then again, Monday through Thursday at 6:15 p.m., I do boot camps in the evening. And so Mondays, we do a fit score. I'll throw like 8 moves out there. We'll do 8 rounds of it each and come up with a total rep count for every exercise that we do. On Tuesdays, I do more of a cardio-based workout. It's nonstop, lots of body weight movement, plyo, things like that. On Wednesdays, it is, I forget, but it's more like boot camp, total body boot camp on Wednesdays and Thursdays as well. And then Saturday mornings at 9 a.m.
Awesome.
Oh, and I do one free every week. And so this Thursday at 6:15 p.m., I'll be offering a free boot camp from my page, my personal page, which is Denise Bryers, a public page, and you'll be able to catch it there as well.
Awesome. Thank you, ma'am, for being able to provide all of this wonderful information.
Absolutely.
You are still helping everybody. Platform. You helping everybody get their summer body together, even though they're in the quarantine.
Rona ain't stopping the show. She's
not a thing. Like she ain't stopped one thing, and so we're definitely appreciative and grateful for that. And then we'll continue to collaborate and create some stuff even online, because I'm even getting my wheels turning to say, hey, here's how we're gonna do this virtual workout for everybody. Let's just pay for it, and then tell everybody jump on live right now, because we're about to do this workout together and get it and make it happen. And so we're definitely appreciative of that and grateful. And so we speak blessings over your business. Hey, everybody, we are grateful for you. Make sure you are joining in and jumping on her lives and accessing her programming, even beyond the quarantine. So even if you miss out on this 21-day challenge, jump in on her other, workout challenges. She's working out like 9 times out the day. There's no excuse. You can there's multiple areas by which you can jump in this thing. And even if you don't even necessarily subscribe to a personal trainer, do something.
Yeah.
Make sure you're just not sitting on the couch and watching Netflix all day.
Yeah.
Like there's time for everything. So we want to make sure you're making that time for yourself. This is the only temple we got. So we want to make sure that we don't miss out on what God wants to do with it and in it. Once again, I want to get you to heaven. I just don't want to rush you there.
There you go.
We're doing this thing to the best of our ability. Once again, we're grateful for each and every one of you. We love you all. Thank you once again for tuning in. Share it with everybody that you know that needs to get active and needs to be a part of this and needs to hear this conversation. Hey, we'll talk to you soon. I love you. God bless. Talk to you later.